agree this is the issue in this case. Whether or not he is professionally qualified. All right, you can ask for it later. Okay. You okay, next.
The second issue, Your Honor, is that a respondent was convicted of crimes, 4 crimes specifically, involving moral turpitude, Your Honor.
Whether or not
Respondent was convicted.
whether or not the crime for which he was convicted consists of moral turpitude.
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct? Then that is the non-filing or failure to file his income tax return.
Yes, Your Honor.
For how many years?
1982, 83, 84, and 85, Your Honor. 4 years, Your Honor.
For 4 years.
Yes,
All right. Do you agree, respondent, that that is an issue in this case? Whether or not his failure to file his income tax return for 4 years constitutes is an offense that constitutes moral turpitude, for which respondent under section what of the Omnibus Election Code? Then he should be disqualified. What section? Section.
Section 12, Your Honor.
Of course, it's section 12. If you don't know that by now, you better go home. All right, next
Apologies,
issue.
Your Honor.
Next issue.
Yes, Your Honor. Whether or not respondent should be disqualified for having, because he incurred a penalty of more than 18 months of imprisonment, Your Honor.
Is your contention that the penalty is more than 18 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
Whether or not he is disqualified, perpetually disqualified, because he was convicted
Yes, Your Honor.
for a crime that and with the carried a penalty of
Specifically 3 years, Your Honor.
3 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
How many months is that?
36, Your Honor.
Of course, it's 36. and what is required only in the law is how many months?
More than 18, Your Honor.
More than 18
Yes, sir.
months. Yes. So whether or not respondent is perpetually disqualified for having been sentenced by final judgment,
Yes, Your
will
Honor.
be in prison for more than 18 months.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Next issue.
That's all, Your Honor. For us.
That's all. All
Thank
right.
you.
For the respondents, what are your issues? Compañera.
Your Honor, we only have one issue for this case, Your Honor, whether or not the respondent is qualified to run for president. Your Honor.
Whether or not he is qualified.
Yes. Sir.
All right. So on the reverse, the issue is whether or not he is perpetually disqualified. Your issue is whether or not he is
Qualified to run for president. Your Honor.
he is qualified. All right. What else?
That's our only issue for this case, Your Honor.
Okay. So the other. Okay, you may be seated. What the other case, Ilagan? What are your issues that you propose?
Good morning, Your Honor. We join the issues proposed by the good counsel for Akbayan, Your Honor.
All right.
We have similar
You join
issues.
all the issues that
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
same. For this case, attorney, for the respondent, you have the same?
Similarly, Your Honor, just one issue to be raised for this case as well.
Whether or not Mark Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is qualified
Yes, Your
to
Honor.
run for president.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's all for the issues. We can also go to the clarification of facts. And for this matter, you might want to admit some facts so that we can go faster. All right, let's have some admission of facts.
Your Honor, should I go first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you ready for
Yes,
admission
Your
of facts? Okay.
Your Honor, before I proceed, Your Honor, may we know from the good counsel of the respondent if the respondent is present already, Your Honor?
You want to know if Senator Marcos is present?
Yes, Your Honor.
You mean in Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
counsel for respondent. Is Senator Marcos Jr. now on Zoom or video? Not yet?
Your Honor, I personally haven't received any information that he is present already via Zoom. However, Your Honor, may I just invoke the order dated December 2021 that the respondent or counsel may attend in today's hearing, Your Honor.
But the summons was sent to him personally, is it not, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
He was summoned to appear here in person eh. What date is that summons? Was it received when? Why
Honor,
is it very hard for Senator Marcos to go on video? He can do that in his phone. You call Attorney Araneta Marcos.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm trying to communicate, but I would just like to manifest that I have the sufficient authority to attend in
I
today's
understand you have an SPA.
Yes, sir.
Yes, but I already required all parties to appear on Zoom. Or, or if they were summoned in person.
Yes, Your Honor. In that case, Your Honor, may I just request that we be given more time to coordinate because
Yes, you continue while we are still continuing with the clarification of facts.
yes, Your
You
Honor.
can continue calling your lead counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
When was the summons received?
December 29, Your Honor.
Oh,
The same
personally?
email, Your Honor, because
Where did they receive it? Where? What address?
Sunset, the first summon, Your Honor, was received at Sunset in Pasay City.
Does it say there you must personally appear?
That's the first summon, Your Honor.
Yes. What else is the other summons?
The other summon was on December 29, Your Honor.
He also received that
Yes, Your Honor, through his counsel.
through his counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, requiring the counsel and the parties.
Okay, so you want someone here to personally appear. Now, if you cannot appear because there is a... You tell your client that I took that flight yesterday from Bacolod. And you know, I never traveled business class. But I had to travel business class because I have comorbidity so that I could be safer. At on my personal expense, not thanks to the Comelec. Just so I can be here today.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
that he could do is just appear on video so I can see. I can see on video that he is present
Yes,
and
Your
he
Honor.
is interested in this case. All
Yes,
right,
Your Honor.
you call your lead counsel,
Yes, Your Honor.
attorney.
I will just ask them if we can at least.
But do not insist that you have authority here and he doesn't show there. Do not insist anymore because you're just making your life harder. Okay, just call your lead counsel. All right, let's go to the clarification of facts.
Your Honor, we have proposed stipulations, Your Honor. Although, if I may, Your Honor, I'm not sure whether the good counsel for the respondent will be able to answer some of these stipulations.
Why are you
Your Honor.
not sure? You don't even know that yet.
Okay, Your Honor.
You better stop. I warned you already that I do not like the style of lawyers that putting down the other lawyers.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is
I
your
apologize.
first time to appear in my court? Your first time?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your roll number?
68933, Your Honor.
Oh, you have been in practice for how many years?
Almost 5, Your Honor.
All right, so you should learn courtesy.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, I'm
actually,
not sure if you can answer these questions. Why?
It's
Are you,
stipulation, Your
what do
Honor.
you call this, mystic? You can tell whether I can answer it or not.
I
You
apologize, Your
proceed
Honor.
without warning.
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Number one, Your Honor, for stipulation that this honorable commission has jurisdiction over this instant disqualification case, Your Honor.
Jurisdiction is admitted. Yeah, you received the summons and you are here. All right, admitted. Next.
Number two, Your Honor, that the respondent, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., served as Vice Governor of Ilocos Norte from 1982 to 1983, Your Honor.
Counsel for respondent, admitted. He was governor up to 19,
Vice Governor, Your Honor. from
vice governor up to,
1982 to 1983.
why is that relevant here? Is that part of the years that he did not file an
Yes, Your
ITR?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsel for respondent admitted. That he was vice governor is admitted. Yes. You only admit that he was vice governor for those years. All right, only that he was vice governor. Next.
That the respondent Ferdinand Marcos Jr. served as governor from 1983 to 1986, Your Honor.
So 1986, you mean up to President Cory Aquino's
Yes,
start of the term
Yes, Your Honor.
in February. Counsel for respondent admitted. Counsel. Yes, that he was governor. 1983 to 86. Until his family had to flee the country. All right, next.
Number 4, Your Honor, the respondent Ferdinand Marcos Jr. did not resign from his position as governor of Ilocos Norte in 1986, Your Honor.
He did not resign.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is that relevant?
Because, Your Honor, one of the defenses that the respondent posits is that he is not covered by the 1985 income tax returns, being that they were already deposed, Your Honor. However, it is our position, Your Honor, that it is the president that was deposed, not particularly the governor of Ilocos Norte, Your Honor.
Well,
In
I have personal knowledge because I was appointed officer in charge city mayor of Cadiz, my hometown, and well, the mayor was in office until I replaced him. But let's ask the respondent. All right, respondent counsel, do you admit that he did not resign? So what is your stipulation that he resigned? All right, you deny. You deny that he resigned. All right, next.
Number 5, Your Honor, that the respondent, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., was found guilty beyond reasonable doubt for violation of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1977, as amended, by the Quezon City Regional Trial Court, Branch 105, and sentenced him in its decision dated July 27, 1995, to the following. Letter A, to serve imprisonment of 6 months and pay a fine of 2,000 pesos for each charge in criminal case numbers Q-91291212, Q-92-29213, and Q-92-29217 for failure to file income tax returns for the years 1982, 1983, and 1984.
Counsel for the respondent? Admitted or denied? You deny that he was convicted. So he was not convicted? The RTC? I'm sorry, compañera. And you come closer because I am a little bit hard of hearing. Do you deny that he was convicted? Was he convicted or not in the RTC? Let's do it in detail. Did you put alcohol there? No. Alcohol. Why do you keep on holding that microphone? Put alcohol on that microphone. What did you do? Spray it. All right. Okay, attorney. Do you admit that he was convicted in RTCQC branch 105?
We deny that, Your Honor.
So he was not convicted?
Yes, Your Honor,
How come you appealed it to the Court of Appeals if he was not convicted?
The conviction was not final, Your Honor. It was appealed, so we denied it.
Alright, so convicted, but you appealed to the CA.
Yes, Your Honor, it was
Alright,
appealed.
admitted that it was convicted, but appealed to the CA, to the Court of Appeals. Okay, okay, next.
Um, Letter D, to serve imprisonment of 6 months and pay a fine of 2,000 pesos each for each charge in criminal case numbers Q-91-29216, Q-92-29215, and Q-92-29214 for failure to pay income taxes in the years 1982, 1983, and 1984.
Counsel, admitted, but this was appealed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, admitted that there is such a judgment in the Regional Trial Court of Quezon City, but appealed to the CA. All right, next.
Letter C, Your Honor, to serve imprisonment of 3 years and a fine of 30,000 pesos in criminal case numbers 9Q-91-24391 for failure to file income tax return for the year 1985, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent, admitted, but appealed to the Court of Appeal.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay.
For letter D, Your Honor, to serve imprisonment of 3 years and pay a fine of 30,000 pesos, criminal case number Q-91-24390 for failure to pay income tax for the year 1985, Your Honor.
Counsel,
We deny, Your Honor.
we deny. All right.
Your Honor, if I may, this is a matter of public record.
What
Your
is
Honor.
the matter with you? She just said she denies it. Why are you insisting?
I apologize, Your Honor.
You want I will continue this issues of facts with another counsel. So I don't like your
Yes, Your Honor, I
I don't like your
apologize.
behavior here. I don't think you've been in practice long enough for me.
I'm
Because
sorry.
if you've been in practice long enough, you will just proceed. She already denied it. What do you want her to do? You want to force her to admit it?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, you apologize to her now.
I apologize, Your Honor.
You already denied it eh. Next.
For letter E, Your Honor, part of the decision to pay the Bureau of Internal Revenue the taxes due, including such other penalties, interest, and surcharges, Your Honor.
Counter.
We deny, Your Honor.
Denied. Next.
For our number 6, Your Honor, we have that the respondent, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., was found guilty beyond reasonable doubt by the Court of Appeals in CR number 18569 of violation of NIRC 1977 rather, for failure to file income tax returns for the taxable years 1982 to
All
1984.
right. This is now the Court of Appeals decision. Counsel for the respondent, you admit that there was a Court of Appeals decision on what date? What date is that, counsel?
This is
What date was the Court of Appeals decision
October
promulgated?
31, 1997, Your Honor.
October
31.
31, 1997.
Yes, Your
Counsel
Honor.
for the respondent, do you admit that there is such a decision from the Court of Appeals?
Yes, Your Honor, we admit that there was a decision from the Court of Appeals. Your
Yes. Only the fact that there is such a decision. All right. Convicting him also. Convicting him.
Not to the specific,
Yes, only on its face. Only on its face.
yes, Your Honor.
But your argument, your answer is that he was only fined.
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
But that he was only fined. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And are you saying that he paid the fine?
Yes, Your Honor. It's
All right. But that he paid it is the fact of the decision issued by the CA is admitted, but that respondent Marcos Jr. had paid the fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that the decision does not include a statement or judgment disqualifying him perpetually from holding public office. That correct?
Correct, Your
All
Honor.
right. I'm gonna help you, compañera, so we can go faster here.
Yes,
All right, next.
For number 7, Your Honor, that the respondent Marcos Jr. in his certificate of candidacy, particularly in part 22, stated that he has not been found liable for an offense which carries with it an accessory penalty of perpetual disqualification.
Okay, in COC, what item is that? Certificate of candidacy? What item are you referring to?
Part 22, Your Honor. Item 22.
Item 22. That he has
Um,
not been found.
has not been found liable for an offense which carries with it an accessory penalty of perpetual disqualification to hold public office.
All right, counsel for Marcos Jr. Do you admit that that is what your client
Your
stated in his certificate of candidacy?
subject to the cross-examination with the original COC, Your Honor.
Well, only that in item 22, he checked it
Yes,
that
Your
he is
Honor.
not disqualified. You agree?
Yes, Your Honor, subject to the comparison.
Yes, but you have an answer for that, right?
Yes, Your
But
Honor.
the fact that he checked that item 22 in his certificate of candidacy, that he has not been found guilty of a crime not perpetually disqualifying him from office is true. It's true that he checked it, number item 22.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alright. Admitted. Next.
For number 8, Your Honor, that the respondent Ferdinand Marcos Jr. had not paid the deficiency income taxes he was ordered to pay in the decision of the regional trial.
Okay, whether or not he paid the fine,
Yes, the deficiency income taxes first, Your Honor.
whether he paid the
Deficiency income tax.
deficiency
Income tax.
income taxes for what year?
For the years 1982, 83, 84, and 85, Your Honor.
Counsel for respondent, whether or not your client paid the deficiency income taxes from 1982 to 1985. Admitted or denied?
Yes, Your Honor. He made payments and it's part of our exhibits, Your Honor. So we deny the stipulation.
Denied. All right, denied.
For
Next.
number 9, Your Honor, that the respondent Marcos Jr. had not paid the fines he was ordered to pay in the decision of the regional
That he had
trial.
not paid the fine.
Yes, Your Honor. For 1982, 83, 84, and 85, Your Honor.
Here. Counsel for respondent, did your client pay the fine?
Yes, Your Honor, our client paid the fine, so we deny the proposed stipulation.
He paid the fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
For number
So you deny that he did not pay.
Yes, Your Honor, we
You
deny
deny
that.
that he did not pay because you say he paid the fine, all of it, all
Yes, Your Honor.
all the fine. Okay, when did he pay?
Um, it's part of our exhibit, Your Honor.
Okay, what exhibit is that?
We have a certification from the BIR attesting the deficiency taxes and fines have been paid. Our exhibit 2, Your Honor.
Exhibit 2 is a certification from the BIR.
Yes, Your Honor. Also, there is an attached computation with the title of the case, People of the Philippines versus Ferdinand Marcos Jr., CAGRCR number 18569.
That is your exhibit 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
Clerk, do you affirm you have exhibit 2?
I confirm, Your Honor.
That they paid the fine. That is a certification.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whether or not he has paid the fine is denied because they say they paid the fine. What about the petitioner? What is your proof that he did not pay the fine?
Your Honor, we have a certification from uh, the Regional Trial Court Branch 105, Your Honor, stating that there has been no compliance for the satisfaction of the judgment, Your Honor.
That is your exhibit what?
Um, B, Your Honor.
B as in beta,
B as in dog, Your Honor.
D as in delta.
Delta, yes, Your Honor.
Why do you always say D as in dog? I already said beta. You're supposed to answer delta. Anyway, exhibit delta, D, is a RTC certification that the judgment was not satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
What date is that?
December 2, Your Honor.
To what date? What year?
2021.
What date is your certificate, Comelec, from BIR?
December 9, Your Honor, 2021.
Oh, around the same date. BIR said you paid. He paid. And you have the OR?
I have the computation, Your Honor.
No,
and
the
the
official receipt
certification.
for payment. What is it?
We would have to check the land bank receipt, Your Honor. We will still look for it in our records.
All right, you can attach that. Did you mark? You have that marked that, no? So that should be your exhibit to dash A. Compañera.
Yes, Your Honor, but I would just like to manifest that the payment was made a long time ago. And as to the,
Long time ago.
Yes.
It's only December. The certification is December 9, 2021.
yes,
The
sir,
payment was when?
they paid, Your Honor, was December 27, 2001, Your Honor.
2000?
1, as stated in the certification.
2001. All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
we need an OR of that or the proof.
There's a BCS number, Your Honor.
Oh, you know, even our certifications here in Comelec, we attach an OR. You ask us for TSN, we'll give you an OR. So why don't you reserve that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, counsel for Marcos Jr. is allowed to reserve proof of payment, official receipt or deposit to the land bank as their exhibit 2-A, clerk.
Noted, Your Honor.
Okay, next.
For our last proposal for stipulation, Your Honor, apart from being vice governor from 1982 to 83 and governor from 1983 to 86, respondent Ferdinand Marcos Jr. was also chairman of PhilComSat from 1982 to
Chairman of
PhilComSat, Your Honor,
PhilComSat. Okay.
from 1982 to 86, and has other sources of income, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. What's the chairman of PhilComSat? Counsel for respondent?
I am not quite sure of the.
Denied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, denied. Now, why is this relevant? Counsel for petitioner.
Your Honor, one of the defenses by the respondent, Your Honor, is that he is being a government employee. There's withholding taxes from the government, Your Honor.
What was this subject matter of the case in the RTC?
The non-filing of income tax returns, Your Honor, and non-payment of taxes, Your Honor. At
Yes,
that time.
but taxes as PhilComSat chair.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that part of the
No, Your
allegations of tax?
No, Your Honor.
So why are you inserting it here?
Because, Your Honor, their defense is that being government employees, there is withholding taxes, and that hence they have already paid their taxes, Your Honor. They are no longer required to file their income tax returns, Your Honor. However, if they have other sources of income, Your Honor, that means that they will still have to file their return for those other sources of income.
And PhilComSat was a government controlled corporation.
At that time, I believe, Your Honor, yes.
All right, denied. Next.
That's it for our proposal for stipulation, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel for the respondent, we have some proposals for stipulation of facts.
Your Honor, we will no longer stipulate on anything because the statements or arguments that we have are already in our answer, and we will amplify them in our memorandum, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have a proposal for stipulation of facts?
Just a correction, Your Honor, on the, I guess, there was
Hindi
a,
ko marinig. Microphone, you hold it closer, yes?
let me just check if this honorable court, um, if I made the mistake in emphasizing the denial on the non-payment. So,
Okay, you want to emphasize that you denied.
yes, Your Honor, I
Okay,
would like to
after the
emphasize that.
stipulation on non-payment of deficiency taxes, you deny.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, denied.
That's our only stipulation for this case, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel for Akbayan, do you have anything to add?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We would like to respectfully, with your permission, Your Honor, to adopt all of the manifestations of the good counsel for Mr. Bonifacio, Your Honor.
What do you want?
To adopt all of the,
You're adopting all the stipulations.
yes, Your Honor. But I would just like to clarify a few things, Your Honor, if I may.
Clarify which one.
Your Honor, with respect to the payment of fines, I understand that there's an understanding between the councils. There's a payment of fine
Okay, why don't you offer it for stipulation? Stop, don't argue.
Okay.
We're not here for oral arguments. I already know your argument. I already read the file.
apologies, sir.
I read all the cases that you cited. Just add to the stipulation of facts. If
Yes.
you like.
Yes, Your Honor. That with respect to the non-filing of ITRs for 82, 83, 84, and 85, no fine or penalty was paid to the Regional Trial Court, Branch 105.
Okay, so that's they did not pay the fine in the court.
In the court, Your Honor.
Okay, but you admit that they said they paid in the BIR. Counsel, I'm sorry. Did you say that you paid to the BIR, the taxes? Your client paid to the BIR
Yes, Your Honor, there's a
in
payment.
2001,
Yes,
correct? You did not pay to the court.
yes, Your
So, his proposal for admission now is that your client did not pay the fine in court. You admit?
Yes, Your Honor, the payment was made directly to the BIR, Your Honor. But there was a payment for the years 1982, 1983, 1984, and 1985, Your Honor. And there was a payment directly to the Land Bank of the Philippines.
All right. Land bank. All right. You admit that you did not pay the fine in court, but he paid it to the BIR through Land Bank
Yes.
of the Philippines in 2001. Okay? What else? Attorney
Yes, Your Honor.
or the petitioner.
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to propose that it be stipulated that the respondent did not file income tax return for 82, 83, 84, and 85 up to today, Your Honor. No ITR
82
was
to
filed.
1985, tapos and then 1986, he also did that file.
No. Sorry, Your Honor. From 82, 83, 84, and 85, no ITR was filed at all up until today, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel for the respondent, do you admit that your client did not file an income tax return in 1982 up to 1985, up to the present?
We deny that, Your Honor.
Denied.
Thank you,
So
Your
he
Honor. Thank
did
you.
file. He filed an IPR recently.
I believe so. I will check, Your Honor, with the
IPR for what? Counsel for petitioner. As governor or because he was senator?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, that's different case. That's not included in this case. What do you mean up to the present? You mean up to the present, he did not file an IPR for the period 1982 to 1985?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why? Can you file it late?
Yes, Your Honor, we submit that you can file it
Oh, you
late.
submit, but you're not sure.
Your Honor,
Can you file it late when you have already been convicted
I believe
for
so.
failure to file?
Yes, Your Honor, but I think you have to pay the fines and penalties and interest, Your Honor.
You have to say he has been convicted already by final judgment in the say that he did not pay, he did not file his IPR. You are still alleging that he could have filed his IPR even after he was convicted.
Yes, Your Honor.
Instead, Marcos Jr. paid the fine, he said, through the land bank.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what is the unlawful act in the RTC?
The unlawful
Failure to file the IPR willfully.
Yes, Your Honor.
Willfully.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why are you still asking her to admit that he could have filed it let's say last year, he could have filed the IPR for 1982 to 85 when he was already convicted by final judgment?
Yes, Your Honor, because
What for?
he could have declared all of the income earned during that period, Your Honor, and paid the subsequent fines, penalties, and taxes for that particular period, Your Honor.
Forgive me, but I think you're way off the mark here. Your question is, and this is for allegation, for stipulation, whether or not Marcos Jr., who was convicted for failure to file his IPR, already paid the fine. Is that not your stipulation?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's your stipulation. It's not that he has not paid the fine up to now. Is that what you're saying? That he has not paid the fine up to now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, and not that he did not file the IPR. By golly. That he did not file, that he did not pay the fine up to now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh,
With the
okay,
RTC,
okay.
Your Honor.
Counsel, admitted or denied, he did not pay up to now.
Deny.
Denied because he
deny.
paid to the land bank.
Yes, Your Honor.
But do you admit that he did not pay in court? That's what he means.
We have no evidence that the payment was made in court. What we have, Your Honor, is the certification from the BIR that a payment was made
Okay, so
to
the
the land.
stipulation is he did not pay the fine up to now in court. Admit or deny?
Deny, Your Honor.
Yeah, denied. Because in case of doubt, you should deny. All right, then, there any more?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to stipulate, Your Honor, that on August 8, 2001, the Supreme Court, in a resolution in the case of Marcos versus People of the Philippines, granted the respondent's motion to withdraw his motion to file extension and to file a petition for review of such a Your Honor.
Are you talking about this RTC case
Yes, Your Honor.
or another Republic versus Marcos case?
This RTC case, Your Honor.
Okay,
The
again.
4 RTC cases.
Okay. Repeat your stipulation of facts clearly.
Yes, Your Honor. That in a resolution dated August 8, 2001, the Supreme Court, in the case of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. versus People of the Philippines, granted respondent's motion, meaning Mr. Marcos's motion, to withdraw his earlier motion for extension of time to file a petition for review on certiorari.
Why is that relevant?
Because that would prove, Your Honor, that the conviction had since become final and executory, Your Honor.
But they also admit that. So whether or not the decision in People versus Marcos Jr. is already final, correct? Is that your stipulation?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Not that he drew his
Yes,
Motion
yes,
to
yes,
file,
yes.
it
It became final executive.
All right, counsel for respondent. Do you admit that this decision in People versus Marcos Jr. has become final and executory?
May I know, Your Honor, from the good counsel, what what's the GR number of the case he is referring
Yes.
to?
Counsel, can you please stand up when you're addressing us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Unless you have a disability, I will allow that.
I apologize, Your Honor. If I may repeat, Your Honor, may I ask the good counsel to state the GR number of the Supreme Court case that he is referring
All
to?
right, counsel for petitioner, what is the GR number you are referring to?
Um, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I don't have right now the GR number, but I have the criminal
date.
case numbers.
The date of the decision.
Um, the resolution is dated August 8, 2001. And if I may add, Your Honor, there's an entry of judgment with respect to the same by the Supreme Court also.
August 8, 2001.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent, are you talking about the same case that this has become final and executory? Admitted?
Um,
Why don't you Google it? What's your counsel doing there? You tell him to use his phone and Google the GI number now.
He's not one of the petitioners.
There's a lawyer beside you. Next time you cannot come to our court here, you don't know the GR number of the cases you're citing, huh?
Your Honor, for the benefit of the other counsel, Your Honor, and for the expediency of this hearing, Your Honor, we admit that there was a motion to withdraw the petition, the motion for time to file a.
And that this decision already became final.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, admitted.
By the way, Your Honor, do you still need the GR number? I have it here.
Go ahead, because she might
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah, thank you. GR number 148434.
All right. Next.
And that there was a entry of judgment with respect to the same, um, dated 31 August 2001, Your Honor.
Admitted. Kumpanyera.
Um,
Same case, same decision.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, admitted.
No further offer, Your Honor.
Are you finished?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Counsel to the respondent, do you have anything to add for stipulation?
No more, Your Honor, the same stipulation made earlier.
All right. How is your client now? Is he still, what do you call this? Incommunicado? Who are you communicating with? Your lead counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney?
Attorney Paulo Pestonero.
Yes, yes. You tell him that the clerk wants to speak with the doctor at least.
Your Honor, we already have the number of the doctor.
All right. That's the, you may be seated. Clerk, please call the doctor. Yeah, you call him from there. Go ahead. You let her hear what your conversation is. You ask the doctor, clerk, you'll be the one to talk to the doctor and ask if he already examined Senator Ferdinand Marcos Jr. And what is his conclusion? And is he going to give us a medical certificate by email? Sige, you put it on speaker, attorney.
Your Honor, the counsel for the respondent has a manifestation.
Yes, please go ahead.
Your Honor, I have received the picture of the medical certificate from the good doctor, Your Honor. But we are still trying to reach him. His number is at
Managing him particularly through lifestyle program involving nutrition, exercise, and supplements. I was told by his wife, Liza, to see him yesterday at around 10 a.m. in his home in Naras Road, South Forbes, presenting with body malaise, febrile episodes, and difficulty in speaking due to a painfully congested throat. Upon examination, he had a temperature of 37.8 degrees Celsius, and his throat was hyperemic and swollen. He reportedly had direct contact with at least 2 individuals who later tested positive. I recommended that he take BioFlu, uh, of paracetamol, chlorpheniramine, phenylephrine combination for his fever and congestion, Immune Pro or Conzace immune formulated multivitamins, whichever was available, and diphenhydramine for its sedating effect. We have been in close communication for updates through the phone. Hence, this correspondence is made upon the request of the patient himself for whatever purpose it may serve. Please contact my office for any concerns regarding this. Yours truly, Benedict Francis T. Valdecanas, attending physician.
And he cannot appear on video even if he does not speak,
yes, Your Honor.
just so his presence can be noted. He cannot.
Yes, Your Honor, because we are afraid that he might cause the spread of the virus by
I see. All right. Uh, you will, you have 24 hours to file your manifestation attaching an original of the medical certificate
yes, Your Honor.
and furnishing a copy by email to your opposing counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are there other issues that you would like to raise? Yes? None. Okay, all lawyers, please stand up. you will continue your marking of exhibits with the clerk. All your exhibits that we have not allowed you to reserve, you cannot attach to your memorandum. The memorandum is optional. Order. Today's hearing, Respondent Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is absent and the council submitted an electronic copy of the medical certificate explaining that he is ill. The petitioners in the two cases appeared through video conferencing and two lawyers appeared. The case of Mengelen versus Marcos was not heard today for failure of the petitioner to appear or for the lawyer to appear. For which reason, counsel for Marcos Jr. filed a motion to have their petitions dismissed. The lawyers are hereby given 48 hours to file their memorandum.
Your Honor, if I may request that we be given a longer period to file a memorandum, Your Honor. 15 days, Your Honor,
No,
considering
no,
that
we never give 15 days here. It is to your interest
3 days, Your Honor.
that this case is resolved as soon as possible.
Yes, Your
Is it not? Why are you asking me for 15 days?
Because, Your Honor,
Because
off the record-
everything that you want to say there anyway, we already know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is it that you need to... The memorandum is there for you as an option to organize your arguments and your exhibits because you have to attach your list of exhibits there in your memorandum. Even if you do not submit, you will just base it on this hearing and the evidence that you have attached to your answer and your petition. So it is not necessary to have 15 days unless you want to delay your case.
No, Your Honor. Your Honor, in that
Why can't you do 48 hours? What about you, lawyers for the petitioners? Can you submit in 48 hours your memorandum? Tomorrow is Saturday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, you can work on Saturday. I always work on Saturday.
Yes, Your
Sunday.
Honor. Your Honor,
You can file on Monday.
we have yet to receive, Your Honor, the certified true copies of some of our exhibits, Your Honor.
What are you waiting for?
We have,
You already
filed
have
our
the
request.
RTC certification that there is no satisfaction of judgment.
Yes, Your
That's
Honor.
correct.
We don't have the certified true copy yet, Your Honor. And we are requesting for that certified true copy, Your Honor.
That's
Of
all
that
right.
certificate.
You can just submit your memorandum and we'll give you a deadline for certified true copy.
Okay.
If that's all you need. Why is it that you cannot file in 48 hours, attorney?
Your Honor, of the record, Your
Are you
Honor.
ready, do you need another certified copy?
No, Your Honor, but off the record, Your Honor,
Off the record, you put up your microphone and you approach me. Okay, off the record, you approach me. Approach. Approach so you know what? She's not hiding something. What is it? 2 meters away. file we can make the decision even without your memorandum. We're just giving you a chance to organize your thoughts because your thoughts are sometimes disorganized. You, so I'll give you a chance to organize your argument and your exhibit. Now, 48 hours, compañera. Do not let these boys beat you. Golly. If they can do it in 48 hours, you should be able to do it in 24 hours. Alright? For 48 hours. Alright. Your 48 hours starts at 12 noon today. Clerk will add that to the order. Alright. You are supposed to file through email to each other. So you make sure you give 2 email addresses. And then, of course, email to the clerk. And then the hard copy can follow the next day. All right? The next day. So on the third day, give them the hard copy, you give the clerk the hard copy. All right? Don't forget to attach your list of exhibits because it's time consuming for us, our clerk to have to list it down. Now, you do this in PDF, the clerk? PDF? In PDF file. You have each other's telephone numbers? So you just give him a fake number. What? Anyway, you just give them the number that you want to give so that when they send you the email, they can text that number that you already sent the email. And you're supposed to acknowledge it by email. All right? Do not make, do not, no shenanigans here, huh? Do not tell me that you did not receive, you did not receive. If the clerk received it, it is deemed filed and submitted for resolution. Alright? Right fluently, make sure you check your typographical errors, and I hate bad grammar. So make sure that you file a perfectly well-written memorandum in 48 hours. Now, 48 hours work is due when? Starting today at noon.
Your Honor, that would be on January 20, January 9 at 12 noon.
At noon.
Yes.
January 9 at noon.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's Sunday?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, by email.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then they can submit the hard copy on January 10
Yes, Your Honor.
to your office at noon.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are there other questions? If there are no other issues, this hearing is adjourned. You might want to have a picture taken, the three of you here. It's okay. You can just have this as background.